Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Heather. For anybody new here, my name is Heather Dewey Pettit, and so I am a writer, editor, and artist. And so what ties all three of those things together is my love of fantasy and science fiction. So as a writer, over the last several years, my focus has been on writing, on creative writing, and so although I've done other things in the past that I've mentioned before, but let's see. So yes. Specifically, I've been writing fiction. I haven't really written any poems in a good while, but maybe eventually. But let's see. And so my main whip at the moment, my work in progress is essentially it is women's fantasy. Which is, let's see if I don't have this quite memorized, but sort of. So essentially it blends elements of a young adult fantasy and epic fantasy and on a mythology base. So what inspired the story, again, it was my research into the genealogy of my maiden name. And so that inspired the story. And I was curious about the mythology of said country that my maiden name is from. And so that is that. I'm also, I am, let's see, I am at, after the midpoint reaction in my story. And I have been, for anybody who doesn't know, I've been editing, so plus handwriting. So there's that. Today, I would like to work on that. So in addition, as an editor, I am a freelance. I do a lot of different things, but primarily line editing, copy editing, and proofreading. But I also do sensitivity reading, and I've been talking a lot about that lately. Especially during the month of March, because that was the bulk of my promo was about that specific service. But this month, I will be talking about copy editing. So I would also like to work on my Substack. And again, the first one will be sort of defining what copy editing is. So yes. So, if anybody, let's see. Oh, wait. Let me finish that up by saying, as an artist, I love working with watercolors and other water-based media like gouache and inks. And so the art you see around me is actually, that is my own art that I made with varying strengths of watercolor. And yeah, so that's part of my branding. When I made that, I used a thing called a gel plate, also called a gel press. And that is one example of how big they can be, actually. So yes, and I used watercolor paper, and that was a lot of fun to do. That's one thing that I do in my downtime is I make art. And I sell at cons and local markets sometimes. So yeah, there's that. Alrighty. So all that said, I hope everyone is having a good day. Also, Tamara Wilson came in, said, hopping on, so I don't forget, little one is okay. Awesome. Just a virus. So yes, I'm glad that it was just a virus. So, all of that said, I hope you are doing well, Tamara. I hope you don't get sick, because that usually happens when when your kid gets sick. Sometimes you get sick as well. So yeah, been there, done that. So if you are watching and would like to pop into the chat, you're welcome to do that. You absolutely don't have to. But for anybody watching right now, hello. Anybody watching replay, hello, and thank you for watching. So yes, I'm planning on working on my editing today. For the most part, I might also work on some HB90 stuff, which I've been working pretty hard on the last couple of days. Even though I've had a very low grade migraine the last couple of days, so not too bad. All of that said, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing a timer for everybody. So let me get that ready. I've been using Pomodoro Kitty a lot. I guess just out of habit, but oh, hello. Jules is here. The Dawdling Writer says, hello, how are you doing today? I'm not too bad. Thank you very much. Yes, basically recovering from a migraine, low-grade migraine I've had for a couple of days. My hair doesn't match today. This is very wavy on this side, but I don't know. That's kind of been a thing with me my whole life. But anyway, I am doing all right. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. How are you, Jules? I don't know if I've said this before, Jules, but I've had multiple friends whose name that was probably Julia or maybe something like that, but it was shortened to Jules. I've known a couple of them, so you're like at least the second friend I've ever had, but maybe the third, something like that. Let's see, where was I? Oh yes, sharing. Let me share. Yeah, just out of habit, I've been using this mostly, but it also does match my branding. So there's that. One of these days I will. Maybe I'll start next week and just start doing some different things. Also, Comet is here. Says, morning, everyone. Good morning. Let me make myself just a little bit bigger. There we go. Good morning. How are you, Comet? I forgot what your first name is. I'll have to go to my email so I can see it, because they sent me something. Here it is, Lakeisha. Please correct me if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, please. I do not want to say anybody's name wrong. Jules says, I like Jules because there were about 8 Julies. Oh my gosh, in my elementary school. Wow, it was a popular name for a long time. I've known Jules's around my age, of a variety of ages. I think I've known a couple more now that I really think about it. Names are fun. However, you can't it's Heather is hard to shorten. Yeah, because we had some names when I was growing up with my brothers. You could put in Y on the end, like you could have the short version and then put a Y on the end. Heather, you couldn't do that with. So I always felt like you couldn't do that. Eventually, a sibling started calling me Heath, which is all right. It's not Heath, Heath. And now my husband sometimes calls me that. So, yeah, awesome. But that's what it looked like. But just making sure, because I like to make sure. I don't know. That's just my nature. I always like to verify things. Let's see. So, I do like to start at quarter after, generally speaking, like no later than, because I don't want to talk too long. I don't want to talk too long. So, not too happy with my hair today, but oh well. I'm going to try to ignore it. That's really wavy on this side though. But I did, pull it up. Okay. Sorry. Maybe I'll actually pull it up again. Anyway, so yes, it's 12 after now. Got about 3 minutes. Let's see. So what is everybody working on today? You can, if you would like, you can state your intention. That's, oh my gosh, that's so cute. If you don't mind me sharing it. So you have a cousin named Heather, Jules. When she became that is so cute. Yeah. As I mean, I've had other nicknames, and sometimes my mother used to call me Heather Feather when I was little. So I have my phone silenced, but I need to take the case off my iPad so I can actually silence it, because I have an OtterBox on it and you can't get to it. I can't get to it, so I apologize. I apologize for the dinging, but that's her grandma name. That the baby kept calling her Feather. I love that. That is so cute. Does rhyme. So does weather. I used to get teased. How's the weather, Heather? But yeah, I've got some. I don't know if I silence. Can you still hear me? I don't know if that. I didn't know if that was going to affect incoming sounds, but I'm muting my laptop because I've got notifications coming through. Quick sip. There's a good reminder. If you need a drink, before we get started with our first sprint, if you need a drink, take a sip, please. Of your drink, I have water, another water that's cold, and some coffee. So I'm prepared. Sure. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. That the baby was mimicking everyone calling. Yeah, I'll just say it. I'll just say the comment. The baby was just mimicking everyone calling Heather's name, but she couldn't quite pronounce it, so they just went with it. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. That happened with my husband's parents when they became grandparents for the first time. The baby couldn't pronounce grandma, so eventually she started calling her Nini, and it stuck. So she's Nini. She's still called Nini. Very cool. Very cool. I love how there's always stories behind what the grandmother tends to be called, and just really cute, really cute, really cute names, grandma names. Hi, hi, Louise. Louise says, "Morning, morning. How are you?" Oops, I'm going a little bit over my plan, but I just thought it was cute. That's okay. But I would like to say thank you, Tamara. Tamara subscribed to my Substack. Yeah, you're really hoping you don't get sick. Take extra vitamin C if you can, or echinacea or something. Yeah. Or things that contain vitamin C. You know what does is the the is it the fruit or the berry? Whatever it is. I think it's the fruit of the rose hips. They have a lot of vitamin C. So what I used to do from something I'd seen, I used to make a tea or something with rose hips and echinacea and something else. So anyway, highly recommend that. So yes, thank you very much, Tamara. I really appreciate it. Yes, so all my links are in the description. I've got a bunch of links in the description on the YouTube end. Thank you for anybody. Sorry, checking that out. That didn't help with that with the notifications, but oh well. At any rate, I hope you enjoy my Substack tomorrow. Well, any other things before we get started? I can't think of anything else. So let's go ahead and get started with our first sprint. During the first sprint, I will get my novel writing notebook because I've been any changes I make, I have been handwriting. For anybody who doesn't know. Oh, good timing, Kay. We are just starting first sprint. And Stream Hoppers United from SD Houston. I did not get a chance to go into her stream earlier. Busy with lots of mom life stuff and dog mom life stuff. So yeah. Anyway, but I had a lovely walk though. All right. Well, yes, have your sips. Also, if this is what you need to do and you're ambulatory, it's a good time to walk around, and which sometimes gets the juices flowing, or move in any way that you can. That helps stretch. And I need to remember to sit up straight in my chair. I'm going to make sure. But okay, let's go ahead and get the first sprint started. I like 25 minutes. We're going to do 25 for the first one, and then we'll go from there. Sometimes I do 30 after, or 40. All right, think about that too. And we're going to go ahead and get the first sprint started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. So did anybody, oops, sorry, 1 second. Did anybody else jump? I know I did. I forgot to mute the other, mute it on YouTube. Anyway. Hi, hello. So yeah. I did a couple of things. I found my notebook, which is great. It was just hiding. Just a couple of admin things. Oh, let's see. I can share some comments. But before I do that, here's your friendly reminder to back up your work, and because somehow I didn't get around to doing that yesterday, but I had something I had to do last night. Just a mom thing that I needed to do. And so when I got home, did I remember to back up my work before I, closed everything down? No. And so, so the second thing is, if your whatever software you're using to write in, if it says check for updates, because I think that's what's been going on with me. I'm sorry. Darn notifications. Because I've had some text disappear, and it happened again. So yeah, don't be like me. Back up your work, and luckily I have backups for my backups. So the paper version. So yes, I was putting things, but I was able to put something back in my current document. Copy and paste. But I will have to type some things in. So. Oh well. It happens. It happens. So, looks like that's where I was in the comments. Tamara is getting back into the writing habit with a spicy short piece. And yes, so this happens where sometimes without even touching it, sometimes, or just by touching it, because my trackpad on my on my MacBook is humongous, and so sometimes I'll hit it on accident, or I'll brush it and something will happen. But sometimes you don't even have to touch anything when you're in YouTube, and it just you have to move the the red line back over. It just does it sometimes because YouTube is weird sometimes. I said something to comment, and I also put this in. Just a reminder that these sprints are hosted on behalf of the Heart Breathings writing community group on Facebook. A typo. Oh well. So as a reminder, all group roles apply in this space, like no bullying, no trolling, no inflammatory subjects, and please try to keep the topic to writing. Blah, 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 blah. Paget, hi, and that's awesome, Tamara. Yes, everybody's so happy that everything's cool in Tamara's household. Also, so hi, Paget, how are you? And also, Nikki, hello. It's been a hot minute since I've seen you. How are you doing? I am so used to working with Word that I love using it. I have used other things in the past, and one thing that I've been doing is I will get things started in my notes app when I'm writing. But right now I'm just editing. So I like using the notes. Oh my gosh. And that's very loud. Why is that so loud? I don't know. Oops. I don't know why that's so loud. Oh, there we go. Let me pause that 1 second. And finish my thought. So yes, I use notes to get things started a lot, and you can also dictate on that, by the way. And I know there's other programs that do that. But and then also I prefer to edit in Word, but I can edit in other ways. I have used Google Docs for editing as well. And I've proofread PDFs, a couple of PDFs. But yes, I do love working with Word because there's so many awesome features for editing in Word. I use track changes, as a lot of editors do. So yeah. Vicky, you're okay? Thanks for grief. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm sorry about that. But I'm glad you're in good health. I'm sorry about that. Oh, well, that sounds interesting. I'm writing a story about a girl in a wheelchair who falls in love with a guy who's a firefighter in the Navy. How interesting. Well, wow, you can have a great perspective on that. What a great idea. I love it so much, Nikki. That sounds really interesting. All right. So please let me know, would you like a 30-minute sprint? Sometimes I do 30 and sometimes I do 40 for the middle sprint, and I'll have 3 sprints. This is what I've been doing lately. Gosh, that sounds so cool, Nikki. I can't stop looking at that. Excuse me. Please let me know what you would like. Yeah, 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Either is fine with me. Sorry, I'm just having to look away from the screen for a moment. Because wow, if there's anything I'm going to request is StreamYard to be able to have the dark to have dark mode. Yeah, for those of us who need it. Oh, cool. She's a curvy girl in a wheelchair that sometimes can use crutches and braces to walk around. Very interesting. I know people who do that, who are not necessarily wheelchair bound. Sometimes they can walk around with aids, like crutches and braces. So what now? Okay, I'm reading this again. If you have Chrome, you can add the extension called Dark Reader that will do that to a web page to make it dark mode. Yeah, because not all web pages will go to dark mode. On your if you're putting your device on dark mode, yes. Studying that and looking at it on the YouTube end to make it easier on my eyes. Well, that's very interesting. Dark Reader. Thank you very much. I knew there was something. But, all righty. Also, we have Alexis. I don't want to pronounce your last name without getting a pronunciation because, again, I'd rather verify that before trying to pronounce it. How interesting. I'm writing a story about 4 wizard witch students going to a hidden magical school in New Zealand, and they try to find an artifact called the Eye of Malachar. Oh, that sounds really interesting. New Zealand. Wow, that sounds really fascinating. Also, before we get started, Nicole has a question. When it comes to stories like that, like what? What's one? What's? I'm not sure. I think you mean what's one thing you can't stand reading about? Is that what you're saying? Oops. Um, hmm. Don't worry. Um, right. It puts the browser into dark mode. Google has its own dark mode, but not all websites, like you said, have that. Yes. Lee, hello. Where can I find your editing info for possible future services? In the link below, and I can pop it in the chat for ease of use. A lot of times I do that during my streams. There's my link tree, and to get the ball rolling, sorry, I neglected to mention this earlier. In my link tree are a bunch of links, including all of my social media. You can reach me by DM to get things started. So yeah, and then we can do any onboarding and all of that stuff. So great, thank you for your interest. I appreciate it, Lee. Don't worry about that, Nicole. So it says, when it comes to stories about a curvy wheelchair girl falling in love with a military guy, what's the one thing you can't stand reading about? I don't know. I mean, if it was anybody else, I would say to a person who is not in a wheelchair to do their research on things. Okay, here's something. If you could show the everyday things that a person in a wheelchair has to deal with, put your brakes on for if you're going to be on any kind of a graded hill or graded surface like that. One thing I've observed, just knowing lots of people in wheelchairs and kids, is that they're constantly having to move around, reposition so they can look at people, and of course they're looking up, and they're repositioning and then putting on brakes again, especially if they're on a hill of some sort, or having access, right? Having ADA access can be an issue, so there's that. Yeah, things like that. Yes, and yeah, mostly it was this. Kay said it very well. Where Nikki is in a wheelchair. For anybody who's not aware. Yes. And then also, Kay has to be in one, at least sometimes. Am I correct? I don't want to say anything wrong about that. Yes, please do your research. If anybody has a character with a disability, please do your research. I know several people. I know lots of people who have disabilities. Excuse me. Yes, and again, and me as well. That is the one thing I'm going to read it word for word. And it's true of me as well. That it is the one thing I can't stand is misrepresentation of disabilities. So yes, here we go. You have spina bifida. That's what it is. I couldn't remember exactly why. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Kay can walk short distances, but anything more than 200 yards. Okay. Hey, that's okay. Yes. So yeah. If there's anything, yeah, if there's anything I'm also passionate about, it's this subject. And I've talked about it a lot in my writing and in my Substack, if you want to uh, pursue. Feet, yards, whichever is the lesser of the two. Yeah, I can't do don't ask me to do measurements in my head. Yeah, same. So anyway, yes, yeah, again, if anybody is watching this and does not have a disability, physical or whatever, um, uh, yes, please do your research. That's yeah, I'm the same way. I can't do measurements in my head either. Yes, and I'm even involved with a couple of Facebook groups and uh, where some of us came together, people who were also editors who were neurodivergent, and we were all neurodivergent, and we said there should be a group, and we did this, uh, and um, and then we were like, oh, you know what? We're writers too. Let's have a writers group. We made a writers group. And we've just had our second publishing conference, and Miss Kay Parquet was on LinkedIn for sure. Because Lee said, anytime someone mentions yards, I just think of football fields. I do too. And then feet. But anyway, Ms. K here was on a panel I hosted for the Neurodivergent Publishing Conference this year in February. My mouth isn't working. Anyway, we can get back on subject. We can get back on subject anytime you guys are ready and have our second spread. But yes, this is a subject that's really huge for me. I'm neurodivergent. My son is neurodivergent, so I'm and has other disabilities as well. So this is a subject that's I'm very passionate about. Oh, okay. I had a lot of fun doing the NPC with you. I would love to do it again sometime. Awesome. NPC is the Neurodivergent Publishing Conference. In my link tree, there is a link to, there was last year's, and I think this year's, because they changed the website, should be in there as well. Or at least I replaced it. I think I replaced it. So, ooh, Lee says, in my past life, I was a special education teacher for 16 years. Awesome. Oh, I see. When I wanted to be a teacher for a long time when I was growing up, and I had the idea of being a special education teacher. I really wanted to do it. I ended up not doing it, but things happen. So sorry about the notifications. I love special ed teachers so much. The school my son goes to, they are all special ed because it's a separate school. Anyway, yeah, that's the thing. It's very rewarding. Alexa says it would be so amazing if Finland would have something like that. I'm surprised that they didn't. That they don't. I mean, so yeah, I know that not every country has a lot of things for special needs or people with disabilities as in general. So I'm very grateful for my son's teachers and what they've done for him. So, well, before I start tearing up, so I'm going to modify the timer. The group for neurodivergent writers. So that's on Facebook. It is open to anyone, anywhere who are neurodivergent and are writers. So yes, there should be. Let me see something. Let me see what's in the. I love this. I love this conversation we're having, guys. Ooh, that's not in there right now. Let me see. Let me get that for you. Let me get a link. Okay. Let me get a link to that for anybody who needs it. Because I had links in my description for like a couple months. Not right now. Here we are. Darn it. There we go. Copy. I'm going to put it in the chat. Neurodivergent. Neurodivergent, Nicole, can mean anything from, and we have in the group, we have a broad definition of this. It can be anything from ADHD, ASD, which is autism spectrum. I don't want to use disorder, but whatever. It could be, Mama Maggie is a member. She had what did she have? She had a stroke. That's what it is. Anyway, they're not neurotypical people. Yeah. Yes. There is a wide variety. And some people, yes, Kay, there's a wide variety. And some people use just a lot of things, include, yes, could be a learning disability. Yes, Lee says that. So there is the group. And there's also one for editors. And it's great. These are really lovely people who are in this group. They are again, they're just wonderful people. And I have had on my channel before the person who is the the bigwig, whose name is Ellis Pervilsky. She's the one who started all of this and had the idea for all of this, and they are just amazing. Yes, it's a wide variety. Could be a learning disability. Just a lot of different things. Yes, we don't, and you don't even need a diagnosis to be in the groups. We don't gatekeep at all. So yes. Anyway, I find such a link. I do like to compare it to the heart breathings group, because it has a similar vibe. So very accommodating, very very supportive people. So just great folks all around. Okay. It is 10 after 12. It's about 10 after 12. 30 minutes or 40 minutes. If we do 30, then we can have 2. If we do 40, then we can just talk after. We can have a lot of time to talk. Whatever you guys want to do. But I just absolutely love this convo. while I'm waiting for a response, I'm going to fix this banner because this will be sprint number 2. Okay. Well, I've got a vote for 30 and 30 and 1 for 40. And Lee says I can do one more of either, then I have to go. Okay. I might make an executive decision here. Tiebreaker 35. That sounds good. I like it. It's a tiebreaker. Boy. Yeah, so yes, I am. By the way, yes, I am neurodivergent. I have ADHD. I don't know if I'm on the spectrum. It's possible. I'm going to go ahead and do 35 minutes. Yes, tiebreaker. Yes, that sounds great. Let's do it. And I'm going to try and ignore my hair. Everybody. Okay. Alrighty. Reminders. Do whatever you need to do for yourself, whatever that is. Whatever you need to do for yourself. And I usually say, if you're ambulatory, or if you can, walk around. If not, do whatever you need to do. Maybe do some stretches, whatever you need to do for yourself, everybody. Have a sip of water. Whatever you need to do for yourself, folks. And let's get this started. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. Okay. How did everybody do? What did everybody do? So I put some words back in my document. Oh gosh, I don't know. Let's see. Somewhere about I was just typing. Well, I made a few changes. I did make a few modifications, but somewhere about 500 words. So there's that. Um, what I will do, since I'm done yet, pop some things in the chat while we're wrapping things up. Unless we take like a 10-minute wrap up thing. But I need to put some things in the chat. Let's see. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Tamara, during that second sprint, this was sprint number. Oh, that must have been after the first sprint. Anyway, Tamara got about 422 words. Nicole was going to make an eat lunch. I popped my link tree in the chat for anybody interested in checking out any of the things I've been talking about, including, I don't think I have anything heart readings in there at the moment, but I have all that Neurodivergent writers group stuff, and the but especially the conference. And again, that's annual. We just had our second annual in February conference, and we're going to have a third. So looking forward to that. Let's see. So yeah, again, I hosted a panel and I was on another panel. And the other panel, the one I hosted was about self-care, especially if you're a neurodivergent. And then the other one was about hyper empathy. So that was really fascinating as well. So Diane Dobson Barton Writing came in, crawls into the room like a slug. Sounds like you're waking up. Here is a blog post that I wrote last year about sensitivity reading. However, my theme for last month was about sensitivity reading and authenticity reading, and I have a post about each for the month of March. So those are in my Substack. So Tamara headed out to the sprint. You're welcome. And yes, I hope her kiddo feels better soon. Alexis, wow, 2,110 words for today done. Love that. Awesome. Okay, take a self-care break. That sprint, I've been doing things since 6 a.m. So I needed a break. I've been awake since about 6:30. But I've not been doing doing other things, not working. Diane just started taking notes for the day, and Nicole was able to make lunch. Great. Where did that go? I'm looking for something. Oh, bother. Oh, baba. Oh, my. Winnie the Pooh now? Sorry. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see. 1 second here. Let me know if you want a 10-minute wrap-up sprint. That will be fine. Diane, you missed some really interesting talk about neurodivergence and experience of disability as in terms of writing. I talked about some stuff that I'm involved with, stuff like that. Talked about my Substack and and all that stuff. So we had a good talk. So what does everybody think? Oh my. He's been awake since 3 a.m. But anyway, Kay has some sleep issues. So yeah. I'm sorry. 3 a.m. is rough. Okay. Yeah. So do you want a 10-minute wrap up, or we can just wrap things up at 1 o'clock? Whatever whatever everybody wants to do is fine with me. Yes, those pesky ADHD sleep issues. Understand completely. Yes, I used to have a hard time falling asleep at night. I sometimes still can. More often than not, though, I just drop off. Anyway, it's okay. I actually enjoy having the extra time. Also good for the 10-minute cooldown. So let's do it. Actually, I think I can do this. Yes, I can. All right. So I was wondering. I'm sorry. Oh, Dan was awake at 3 o'clock too, but your internet was down. Ugh, yuck. I'm sorry about that. Just kind of getting a little distracted because I don't know. I have a lot of light going on, but to me, the image I'm seeing, it looks kind of grainy. But I don't have that. There's a setting that you can improve your appearance. I can't say I haven't used it. It's like, what is it? Putting on a glamour. I can't say I haven't used it, but and there's like you can make it better or worse. Of what's like a slider sort of deal, but it does eat up a lot of what am I trying to say? Whatever. Anyway, distractions. Arrest. Okay. At any rate, let's do this last 10 minutes so I can pop some things in the chat that I need to do. I have some, housekeeping to do. So I'm going to sit up straight in my chair because I need to do that. I'm going to have a sip of water, a sip of coffee, and then I will do those things. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get it started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's print. All right, that was our last sprint, buddy. Thank you very much. That was actually a third sprint. Just ignore that. So yes, that was our little last wrap up sprint. It was 10 minutes. All right. But I wanted to put in that the fact again that these sprints hosted on behalf of the Heart Breathings Writing Community Group on Facebook. I do have links. If you're not a member, if you would like to be a member of this very supportive group, and everyone there is just lovely, especially including the leaders, the fearless leaders, Renee Brett, and of course Sarah Cannon, just great people. They're oops, I don't know how that happened, but oh well. Anyway, the fabulous Diane Dobson Barton is hosting next, and there is a direct link to her sprint. So yes, Diane scheduled her sprints for Double Down Day because she is actually hosting for Double Down Day with StreamYard. Well, anyway, I don't know why I mentioned that, but anyway, I need to do that as well because I am also hosting, which I did not do last month. So I wanted to let everybody know what the schedule is. 7 a.m. we have Jenna. 9 a.m. we have Mel. 11 a.m. we have Diane. 1 p.m., which I've done the 11 o'clock before a lot lately, but I did do the 7 a.m. once. But anyway, let's see. 1 p.m. is Angela. 3 p.m. is Tracy. 5 p.m. is Jen. 7 p.m. is me from 7 to 9. And then at 9 o'clock, we have Rhiannon. So that is that. All right. So yes, I need to do that as well. Excuse me. Pardon me. So yes, I will be getting mine ready to go as soon as possible. Looks like this afternoon. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to Double Down Day. Double Down Day. And once I get on my ducks in a row and get things, do all the things that I need to do, in terms of editing my novel. So yeah. I would like to say thank you very much to anybody who came in during my stream. Anybody watching the replay, thank you. Anything else? Oh yes. So my schedule, my regular schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so, barring any any emergencies or whatever. So yes, I let's see. Also, so basically, one thing I am working on planning is for me to host and interview some of my writer friends here on YouTube or some other people that I know. And so yeah, just ignore that. So that is coming on the occasional Friday. I will see if I can get that done for this month. So that is coming. I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to see what I can do about the last Friday of the month. So that said, thank you so much. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you at Diane's if we're going. All right. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day. All right. Bye.